Hello and welcome to Arena 51. We have a close-up spec and a faraway view. Okay. Yes, and it's the top dog of Arena 51 somehow. That's how the chips have fallen. Arena 51's top dog, Alpha Centauri, is going to be challenged by Budget Shock. Can they dethrone the aliens? We will find out if they are budgeting their accountancy enough, or if they have went over budget. Mm. Up. We're good. Oh, it's that guy. Yeah, that dude. You know, we keep him in the basement, and he does all the production. But yeah, clearly he's not getting fed tonight because tough work, tough work. Wait, that also means you can't move slowly when you're spectating free cam. Oh no, that's first person cams the whole time. Let's go. No, wait, what? No. Are you actually? Are you muted? Yeah, I see your mic. I see it. I see it on Parsec.
I'm no longer muted. Let's go. I literally joked about this before stream. I was like, there's no way I'm letting it slip again. And here we are, yet again at the start of your stream with my mic muted. I'll see myself out, honestly. I blame
I can honestly corroborate. I watched him double check and we still ended up with a muted spag.
Oh my god, this is so annoying. It keeps changing. All right, Gio, I'm going to leave you to Phil. I'm going to figure out what on earth is wrong with production, okay?
Okay, right, I will Phil. Well, today, of course, Alpha Centauri, they're up against the Budget Shock. Will they be dethroned? Well, they don't have Creed with them. And if you know Alpha Centauri, you know Creed's a big part of it. Also, Fabius is also away, so they're not at full capacity at the moment. In fact, Blossom actually is playing tank for them instead of DPS right now. So, you know, don't expect the full might of Centauri to meet Budget Shock today. Clearly a very winnable condition for Budget Shock, as Alpha Centauri have such a mix-up, but you know, they still have those core members of Trix and Luau and Tom and Blossom, so I'm sure they will get something done as we roll out here onto the Greek streets of Ilios.
Ooh. Yes. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see how it unveils. We do have Hyra on the Sombra ready to hack that pack, which has already happened. And gotta say, Budget Shock already on the point, already dominating a lot of space.
Yes, already setting up for these pile drives, and it goes from Lenovo there. Not too much follow-up as of yet, but Luau will find the mech and Baby Diva there as Alpha Centauri take the advantage here in this fight.
Oh, for sure. Looks like they have the points down pat, as it were. So very well played so far. They are just trying to clean up Swift, dropping dangerously low there. But Hyra does get the kill with the power drive as well, following up onto Tom. They get rid of the Zen. Lenoe with a nice double kill near the end. And yeah, that's really it. With the point down pat, 19 or 20%. They're looking pretty strong at the moment.
Yeah, turnaround there from the Budget Shock, nicely done. And I do have insider knowledge. Swift was just playing a comp game with Tempo and Crumble, so I have insider knowledge that they were playing well already in comp. So we're going to see a lot of good plays here from them in this scrim.
Yeah, they do have that pulse bomb up and ready. We do see a switch as well by now onto the Sombra. Does immediately get a hack onto Swipple, and Swift died from it. Very nice target focus there. Hyra really close to the EMP, which could be huge. It's going to be Linoe getting a nice boop onto Blossom as well, but does unfortunately fall, which is a bit of a shame. Looks like the EMP does come out, catches 3 members there. Very nicely done, and yeah, looks like they can just continue to hold on to this point. Trans comes out with the bomb as well. Not going to do much with both teams transing, although Oggy does get a nice kill there. Somehow connects, was outside of that trans and does manage to get picked off, but for the moment it does look like they still have control of this point.
Yeah, Budget Shock have been holding in strong here despite the elimination onto Swift from Luau. They have been holding in. Now Luau is close to this EMP. That's going to be a big ultimate moving forward. Of course, they've also got the rally coming in, but if Luau can't get this in time for this final fight now, it could be a lot of issue, especially if they're found out early, as they almost go down right before this fight.
Ooh, 6 into overtime. This is it, the be-all, end-all. Alpha Centauri need to make some progress here. Looks like the pile drives come in nice and early. Nice quick dive there. Here's the EMP. Doesn't catch anyone, unfortunately. It is going to be the mines coming out for Alpha Centauri as well. Blocking that choke, making them have a little bit more space so they can at least touch. But the rally is active for Budget Shock at the moment, so they do have quite a bit of sustain on their side. And yeah, with a nice early pick from Blossom onto Linoe, it looks like this could be Alpha Centauri's fight to take.
Yes, and it looks like Alpha Centauri are close here to getting their first percentages here on the board as they swing in with Blossom. And that's going to be Soyeon finding Hero there. That's going to be further potential as they do finally have this point. Fusion Finn, though, has pulled the trigger on that Transcendence there to keep them alive. Fab has taken out their opposing Brigitte as the Budget Shock are back in this one. But Tom with a Transcendence as well.
Ooh, that trans gonna be pretty huge, but keeping them together. They've bought enough time for Lau to get that EMP back up and running. So Budget Shock can only stall for so long, and there comes the EMP from the side of Budget Shock's own. They get a double kill, and now could be the time where that EMP bomb comes in crucial for Alpha Centauri. And there it is, the EMP on their side gets rid of the Sombra as well. So trading a bit back and forth. All the while, though, the point is ticking up for them. Very dicey team fight here for both of these teams. Very back and forth.
Yes, they're still holding on to it by a Fred. Swift, though, going to get hacked up by the WoW. That's going to put them in a lot of trouble because of your blinks and recall. Tracer ain't much, and that's a huge E onto the pulse bomb from Augie Augie Mpisk. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but it's not an easy one to get. Now though, Budget Shock don't have too much in the board here moving forward. They do have this rally, but they're moving into one of Centauri's as well as this bomb from Trix.
Ooh. Doesn't quite manage to get too much value, but does get rid of Fusion Fin, which is pretty crucial. It denies them from charging up any more percentage to that trans. Here comes the rally from Alpha Centauri, keeping them nice and sustained. Gotta love to see it coming out onto the pitch, and now it's ticked up almost to 90% for AC. Somehow they managed to get it from 99.0 back up to somewhere a bit more doable for them, and it looks like they're cleaning up this fight nice and well, and now it's getting into last fight territory.
Yeah, the Centauri comeback is strong here as they're looking to hold this one on final fight territory. Luau with the EMP. Now that's going to be the big thing to look out for here as this fight continues. As the EMP comes out, they're going to find Hera and the mines as well from Blossom. Alpha Centauri looking strong.
Ooh, both mines come out. The Transcendence for AC does come online, but Fusion Fin has a trans of their own. Bomb as well, invested by Augie, and the remake there doesn't quite manage to get too much value. As we kind of still go back and forth, Budget Shock have a lot of space on the point, and they do manage to flip it to their favor, so now it's their fight to win, and no one can touch from AC, and that's going to be the first map to Budget Shock.
Yeah, big turnarounds all across the map, but yes, will be in the end Budget Shock getting that point there on Ilios. And if this is an indicator of how this Rivals Night's going to go on, then it's looking like it's going to be a close one. Budget Shock, they're certainly surprising folks for sure. Now, I think the Budget Shock are just warming up right now. We've talked about how Alpha Centauri are kind of down a lot of their members here. If Budget Shock can keep that momentum going here, then they're going to be looking at taking this first map, and it might just snowball from there. But like I say, you know, there's some very tough opposition on the side of Alpha Centauri. You know, they climbed to 4K for a reason. They're very good players. Luau, of course, was once my coach for DPS, so I may be a little biased in saying they're pretty good at the game.
just a little bit biased, maybe, but tell you who's not biased. It's our crowd in Twitch chat. Thanks for dropping by, and it looks like the predictions are out, so definitely place your points there as we get into the next map. Potentially looking like Budget Shocks to win, as they already have one on the board, but just as I say that, Alpha Centauri's Luau gets a nice pick there, living up to the name of Coach. Great early pick to initiate the fight, really swings the favor towards Alpha Centauri. Swift also dropping dangerously low as well. Now with another kill, there you go, finishing off Swift, and that is really Alpha Centauri's fight to win.
Get him, Coach! Yes, Luau's doing pretty well there. The space created there by, of course, the tank line and the flanking tracer, causing the side of Budget Shock to have a bit of issue here. Now, they're not too far forward on any of their key ultimates here. Meanwhile, Alpha Centauri looking at a duplicate very soon as the pile drive comes in from Blossom.
Ooh, huge. Oggy is going to be the one to get that initial pick, but it is a trade. Both tracers down for both of these teams. Overwatch 2 moment, 5v5, but just as I say that, 2 more go down. 4v4, Overwatch 3, maybe. We'll have to wait and see, as both of these teams are still vying for a presence. Alpha Centauri still have a lot of space, still have that point under control, and Luau is still taking free reign of that sky, getting those picks nice and secured. 40% on the point, and it looks like it's not going to budge for a while.
Yeah, nicely done by Alpha Centauri, not using an ultimate on their side there, and that means they're continuing to build up here. They're looking at a very healthy arsenal. Pushing into this one though, Shock are going to look to utilize this Transcendence to defend themselves from the barrage of the aggressive defense here. Now, it's all about building this pulse bomb and getting a value from it so it does not get eaten up by tricks.
Ooh, not an easy thing to do. Wow, going to get that copy onto that Diva. But all the while, that pulse bomb is in the eyes of Trix, but not for long as Swift does drop to the hands of Blossom. Wow, immediately outside of that echo copy, apparently by 2 different people. Very weird interaction there. So, yeah, very well played. Looks like Oggy going to fall off the map. Unfortunate, but it is going to be Hera taking it back for Budget Shock. But I don't think it might be enough. The copy has to come up onto the Zenyatta, but there's not enough time for them to charge up a Transcendence, which could have saved them. Everyone back into spawn with 10% left. I don't think they've got this.
It's Blossom's world and we're just living in it. They tore that fight up for sure, and that's a differential on the tracer right there, and no one can touch. Now that is a completely different look to what we just saw. Alpha Centauri taking that 100-0, evening up Ilios here and telling us you cannot question the Centauri.
No way, can you? That big, I think Alpha Centauri is our nearest star, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. It's either our nearest star or nearest galaxy. No, not nearest galaxy.
Alpha Centauri is the nearest star system. Proxima Centauri is a star within it.
Oh, I see. Oh.
I believe.
Oh, that's
or
good.
It's the other way around.
I like
it's
that.
been a hot second.
It's been a bit. I haven't brushed up on my space facts for a fair amount of time, so thank you for coming in clutch there. But yeah, no, it looks like they're pretty strong. Both of these teams kind of showing us that they both have potential to take away the crown of tonight's scrim. Yeah, I mean, it's all action so far, and I quite like the fact that both of these teams now have a score on the door for this map.
Yes, Temple makes a good point. Our sun is the closest star. That is actually true.
Oh god, no! He did us dirty with that. Oh no! Yeah. Now I just feel stupid.
There's a reason why we're casting Overwatch and not physics.
Very true, very true. Now I just feel embarrassed.
Alpha Centauri, they're on that next level. Now, we talked about Blossom playing on that tank role, not their usual role here in Alpha Centauri, but playing this ball, it does play into, you know, that kind of flanking that, you know, sometimes see from Blossom. You know, you see them play the Tracer sometimes on this roster, as both the DPS, Luau, and Blossom are able to do that. And it kind of plays into that kind of flanking, being annoying-esque kind of deal.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of what they do best, especially in a comp like this. My eyes at the moment are on that Widowmaker. Could potentially get rid of this pharmacy in the sky for Budget Shock, but at the moment, ooh, almost gets a cheeky shot onto the Widow there. But for now, the sky is owned by Hera on that Pharah.
Yes, it is, and you see Luno looking to take them out here, but being forced out by this counter rotation. Nicely played here by Alpha Centauri, and they're going to take out that Pharmacy, like you say.
Ooh, a beautiful opening to the fight, and Alpha Centauri couldn't really ask for more, as they managed to cap the point, still ticking down. Oh. I think my Overwatch is freezing, sorry about that. But Alpha Centauri do have the point down pat.
Yeah, Alpha Centauri have control here, both with singular percentage points now doubling up to double digits. Fusion, though, going to find Blossom in that scrum there. Now, that's a big opportunity. That space creation's gone for Alpha Centauri as Budget Shock push forward here.
Ooh, yeah, they're looking for a fight. They're hungry, and they want that point back. Only 7%, that's not a lot, really, to your name. So they're looking to bump up that number potentially with some opening picks. They do manage to demech Trixie Cole, but it's going to be Lau with the double kill from Alpha Centauri. A beautiful pulse bomb to open it up, and that's the dreams crushed for Budget Shock.
Yes, dreams are certainly crushed here, as it is all in Alpha Centauri's control right now. That's going to be Augie again taken down as well in the end of that one. Blossom, though, maybe getting a little too aggressive there, allowing an opening for the attacking team. Hero, though, very close to his pulse bomb as well.
Ooh, yes. It's all on the tables as it stands. We have a fair few ultimates coming online for both of these teams. It's going to be an initial pick onto Swift to open up the fight there for Alpha Centauri. Luau also responding with a nice bull pick. I don't know, Alpha Centauri just seemed to get those initial picks so early, so quickly, and for not many ultimates used.
Yeah, certainly. And pushing forward, they are going to have this visor, but Alpha Centauri have done a very good job at holding in, even without using the ultimates. But Tom with this Transcendence is going to be the key defensive ultimate here moving forward.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, that's really all they have. Blossom going to use those mines nice and early to try and deny them rotating onto the point. Budget Shock need to have a plan, and they need to execute it fast with only a couple of seconds left before the game is over. Sight's going to be used by Swift on the legs. Nuano, you're going to take out that Widowmaker now. They have a bit more free reign, a bit more space to play with. The Transcendence going to keep a lot of members of Alpha Centauri alive as they respond to a nice defensive play. Hero with a beautiful stick onto Tom. But they do trade as both of the supports are now down for Budget Shock, looking pretty dicey, as well as Alpha Centauri having that Brigitte ultimate up, that extra sustain. It's going to allow them to really take it forward. And looks like the bomb from Trixie Cole is going to come in as well. Takes out a lot of them, and Alpha Centauri just clean up.
Yeah, Alpha Centauri are... you know, they're certainly singing the YMCA. They're taking it all the way, and they've turned it around. My expectations from that first initial round there are completely askew and wrong, as Alpha Centauri have secured themselves that first point there in this series. Now, that's I talk about momentum a lot, and I think that's probably what people are expecting to see Alpha Centauri being the one to, take it. Because, they're the higher SR. They're the people are coming to see if they are beaten today. They're the ones to beat today. So it's kind of what you're expecting. But Budget Shock certainly showed that they're capable of taking it to Alpha Centauri and even taking a point.
Yes, that is for sure. And I mean, they are a scary opponent to go up against. They've shown us time and time again that there's a reason why they're top of the leaderboard. You know, there's a reason why they're there, and I don't think they want to leave anytime soon. And Budget Shock, I mean, this really is the match for them to win, because they will take that title home if they get it out of Alpha Centauri's hands, but they are going to definitely have to try for it.
Yeah. Certainly, you know, this ain't gonna be an easy one. You know, sure, it's, you know, it's a fun, lighthearted scrim, but it's a rivals night, right? There's a lot of ego that could be, you know, claimed from this, bragging rights. These reasons why we do rivals nights, you know, it's fun, it's friendly, but also, you know, you kind of cement you play us in A51. You know, you kind of like, we're going up to the farewell tournament soon, so you're kind of making your place in the A51 rankings by, you know, playing this matchup.
That is for sure. So yeah, the pressure's definitely on. Budget Shock, I think, have had a couple of games to kind of suss them out a little bit. So they kind of know what they're up against, and I think maybe they can take that forward, especially off the back of that first win that they had. Definitely look like there's potential there. There's definitely potential there. And I'm always a fan of the underdog, and I think in this situation, Budget Shock are a bit of the underdog team, because they are the ones going for that crown. So I don't want to be biased or anything, but I think I'm a Budget Shock supporter for this next one.
Usually if you're playing against Alpha Centauri, my kind of advice would be to force them onto those comps where they're not too comfortable. Things, of course, they have leaned in the past to very kind of brawly compositions, and they have struggled with the ball compositions, but today, certainly, it looks like Blossom has it down. General in chat even said looking better than Creed on ball, which is a bit of a rough comment.
And that is a blow and a half for sure, because we all know Creed is definitely, you know, up there in terms of A51 tank players. That is for sure. So yeah, Creed definitely knows where he stands in that tank lineup. And it's definitely someone you want to try and diff if you want to get your name out there. That is for sure. But we are coming onto Havana. And I don't know about you, Gio, but I'm just hoping for a nice close hold.
Yeah, that's the situation you see sometimes. Looks like your dreams are going to be dashed, though, by the defense, who have set themselves up with that classic double shield. One of the comps that people will be happy to see the back of in about 10 days when Overwatch 2 is out and there's only one tank. So, you know, this is the one last times you're ever going to see an A51 stream with double shield on it. So, say your goodbyes, you know, say your condolences.
Drink it in.
Yes, soak it all in, the double sniper glory. And be prepared for whatever the meta is in Overwatch League. It certainly looks like all tanks are viable, maybe apart from Hog, which, you know what, I'm happy about.
Oh. Yes, that is true. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a mix-up when we come into Overwatch 2. But for now, the mix-up is going to be with a nice little pause. Looks like Hydra did DC. I should probably hide chat, but I know these guys are, you know, they're A51. I'm sure they're fine.
Yes, and if they're not, the hammer will come down. We'll ban them all. No, I'm kidding.
Some tough talk.
Yes. But no, yeah, trust them to be, you know, these guys know each other, you know. Even I don't really play comp that much, but I've ended up in lobbies of some of these folks, including Finn. So, yeah, you know, a lot of these people are like core A51 members. They've been here for a while now. You know them in general chat, you know them in Twitch chat. So, you know. It's like, it's very friendly here. It's a friendly environment. We call it Rivals Night,
yeah,
but it's maybe a little too rough. You know, it's like friendly match. It's a friendly. Like, you know, if you watch football, it's a friendly.
We're all friends here, but they definitely still want that crown. That is for sure. I mean, yeah. Swift was training before this, in a comp match before this. So, yeah, they're definitely keen to win. Definitely not ready to give it up. But, yeah, in terms of these comps, we are going to see a bit of a difference. The double shield versus the brawl. I think the aim of this brawl coming out from Alpha Centauri is just going to be to rotate into the faces of Budget Shock as quickly as possible. You know, they have that quick diva to kind of adds to that as well. Maybe soak up some of that damage to the engage. So yeah, I think it's pretty doable. on the side of Alpha Centauri to maybe get into their faces if they can potentially stay out of the sightlines of Swift.
Yeah, Swift. I have played on a team with Swift before, and when Swift wants to, Swift can dominate a lobby. That's for sure. And you know, to see them in Budget Shock and playing at this level, you know, it's fully, you know, something I expected to see for sure. You know, back when we played together on Empire, could always tell that player was destined for higher SR play. As yep, Swift now and the Widow going to be deadly on Havana Unana.
Havana Unana. Yeah, looks like for now the Widow is going to hang back a little bit as the rotation comes through this tight corner, denying a lot of sidelines for that Widowmaker. And Alpha Centauri have a lot of space here. The double shield has to get back because the name of the game for them is distance, wearing down their resources from afar. Looks like the Sigma are going on at a bit of a wide angle to try and rain down a little bit of extra damage. Alpha Centauri just buying their time, I think, waiting for that cart to be pushed up at the moment by the Lucio. And once that cart gets into a good enough position, they can start rotating in, they can start engaging. Meanwhile, Swift has gone to the back a little bit to try and get the longer sight lines, try and get in a bit of a better position.
Yeah, this is more of a Centauri comp for sure as they rush out here, looking to take that high ground. They're looking to go up these stairs, claim the high ground, clear it off, and then just push the point as usual. Maybe even spill onto the double shield. Of course, what Brawl wants to do here, it wants to close that distance. It wants to be up in the face of the double shield, while the double shield wants to be as far away as possible as they've practically switched sides.
I know, a bit of an Uno reverse there. Now AC are going to engage finally like a shark circling its prey. They collapse onto them nice and quickly. Lamp has to be used to try and keep them alive. No kills as of yet, but just as I say that, Swift gets a nice pick onto Trixie Cole. Blossom trades though, so both tanks are down. With Blossom down though from AC, Budget Shock definitely have what it takes to clean up this fight. Hydra with a nice double kill to finish the deal, and that is going to be the defense yet again on top of things. And they wasted a lot of time, I think, with that rotation.
Yeah, that's the thing about playing this rotation. You know, it's a big rotation. It's a long map to cross the distance, take that high ground, and for it not to work here, you know, already 2 minutes used up, and the payload has not breached that first corner properly. They're going to stick to it here as they have a few ultimates. Not quite at that blizzard yet, but they can open with a window and tear someone down as the high ground is yet again in the control of the defenders. But Hero looking for a sneaky.
Ooh, yeah, I don't think he's been spotted yet, but he does have that dragon on hand for when it is needed. The window going to be used for Budget Shock. Looks like the dragon isn't going to be needed with Bat and Cassidy down. You lose a lot of healing for Alpha Centauri. So it looks like they are just biding their time. I don't think there's too much they can do, especially with Swift still left to their own in the backline on that Widow. Just getting pick after pick so consistently. And yeah, I think that's going to be a nice fight win there by Budget Shock.
Yeah, Budget Shock have this on lock. You know, we have players playing some of their best heroes right now. Swift is holding it down as the Widow Hero on these flanks here as well with the Hanzo. You have seen a bit of a switch up on the attack to have that Widow, try and get that Widow locked down on the other side as they open up the window here.
Ooh, looks like a huge Flux catches at least 4 members. The dragon comes in just beneath. Doesn't get too much value. The Shatter, though, connects with 3. Has to force out the trans to keep them alive. Looks like both tanks from Budget Shock are down with the beat on Alpha Centauri's side as well. That's all they need to clean the fight up. Infraside's used just for good measure by Swift there. I think they're looking to swap as we come into this next fight. Looks like Alpha Centauri are going to cap that one through.
Yeah, finally. Takes them enough time. You know, they really pushed for this composition to work here. And, well, eventually it did. And moving on to second, well, they don't have their mech. They do have Blizzard. And if they can rush them down, get that Blizzard out, really only the Sigma to look out for it. But, never mind.
Just opting for the switch, I guess. I mean,
yeah,
bit of a risky move to use your ultimate there, because it kind of says to Budget Shock, we're switching 100%. The Mei no longer going to be there. If they hear the Mei ultimate go and don't really see it, then it's probably a good sign that they are going to switch, and switch they will to a much more mobile comp.
Yes, it's also a good sign that these players are having fun.
That's true.
They're having fun with it. Yeah, complete comp switch up here onto the ball. This is going to make it easier to get these multiple angles against this double shield as the bomb comes in. Woo!
Ooh, beautiful lamp there. Not enough to save Fab, unfortunately. Zen down, a lot less damage. Looks like the bongo is going to be used for good measure. Pyra falls as well, but with that bongo still up, they still have a lot of damage potential coming out. Just as I say that, though, Lau coming in with the picks gets rid of Swift. Yeah, and I don't think there's too much Budget Shot can do to swing this one into their favor.
Yeah, and that's going to be the res there onto Blossom. That's going to basically sure up that this point is secured if they do push the point, though. But Luau goes a little too deep, gets caught out for it by Hero. That's a nice arrow to the head. Now Hero, with this high ground advantage, is going to cause havoc as they push back in here with this window from Finn as well. Although they have to watch out because they're seen through the walls there.
Ooh, Impresites is giving away their position, and here comes the window, like you said, onto this high ground. The lamp used just for good measure. Hydra getting that first kill onto Mercy, denying any reses for Alpha Centauri. And meanwhile, that Sigma caught out a little bit, but with the healing from the BAP above, there's really all the sustain in the world. And they managed to push Alpha Centauri all the way back with 60 seconds on the clock. But AC only have one more fight before they get more time in the bank.
Yes, indeedy. Indeedy?
Indeedy.
First time I've ever cast it and said indeedy, but there we go. You know, first time for everything. Defense are going to be looking at getting this flux very soon. That's going to be very crucial in the defense. Maybe even to combo it with the dragon, or to just use the dragon early and try and catch out Alpha Centauri on a rotation here. But of course, Tom, with that Transcendence, is going to be able to nullify that issue as they kind of position here to push in.
Ooh. That was such a great dragon, completely dead center to Tom, forcing out that Transcendence early. That was a huge card in Alpha Centauri's pocket, and now that they have lost it, they're still ready to fight though. They get rid of Oggy, they get rid of that Orisa, a core staple of that double shield composition. Luau and Hydra though, always there to pick up the slack. Nice double kill there from the Sigma as it takes into overtime. There's a lot of bodies from Budget Shock and not a lot from Alpha Centauri. Trixie Cold really the only one contesting point for the moment. As it's in overtime, they manage to clean it up. Oh, the Hail Mary Mercy comes swooping in though. This could be a clutch.
Yeah, try to keep it alive with this Valk. Very good movement as well by Kex to stay alive. Tom is going to find an arrow to the head though, which is going to be an issue. Blossom trying to keep this point alive, but there's too much presence by the defense. Outstanding stuff, and I want to really highlight that was on Hero. Hero getting that dragon to force out that Transcendence allowed for the Flux to get the value it did in taking out the Zenyatta. Sure, Zen is one person, but Zen has Discord Orb. Zen is not just one person with Discord Orb. Zen is the team. That's 50% damage increase for everybody gone off the board. So that's a very key pick in that fight, and it allowed Lunao to stay on that high ground and just deal that damage as Sigma, and you saw him come up in the kill feed. So very nicely done there from the defense of Budget Shock. Now,
I like that. They're going into a little jingle.
Yes, of course. You know, you gotta sing when there's a good play. You know,
preach it to the world. I love it.
Yes. Barbie Girl's been on my mind. Maybe Caster Girl. No. I'm gonna back up from that one. I'm not gonna sing Caster Girl.
I think you should. I think now that you've said it, the people are hungry, you know? Let us know in chat if you want Gia to sing that. Please, let's bully him into doing it. I want to hear it.
Hey, if there's going to be any bullying, it's going to be as charity goals for the farewell tournament, okay?
Oh, there we go. Lovely segue. I love it.
So we can push that one onto there if we so wish. But yes, looks like you're finally going to be getting your close hold, and
oh, yeah.
Who else to do it but Alpha Centauri?
I do love a good close hold. I don't know what it is about it. I just think it's such a weird strat that you don't see on really any other map, unless you count Gibraltar, but that's not quite as close. Looks like the spawn doors are going to open with a Bastion coming out. I think they read this close hold nice and quickly. Alpha Centauri certainly weren't shying away from it, but that damage boosted Bastion definitely going to cause issue, wearing down the shields, but does paint a big target on their back. Swift definitely looking to get some kills, but the kills are going to go in the favor of Alpha Centauri.
Yeah, they're using this Widow here on the close defense, which is not something you see often, but they're failing here to really close the distance to this Bastion, therefore it's getting the value. Nope, there we go, finally charging in. It took them a while to realize that's what they had to do there, and they have lost a member. It's created an opportunity here for this dual flank of the attacking team.
Ooh, that is for sure. I mean, both windows coming out. The Shatter doesn't connect with anyone, unfortunately. Bit of a whiff there from Blossom. It is going to be Swift getting the first kill onto Tom, and that's going to be a while for that BAP to get back. So now they're down a lot of sustain, and I think it's just a matter of time before the kills get worn down. The High Noon going to be used in desperation, but I think Budget Shock definitely have this one down pat, considering the long respawns.
Yeah. Well, what the close hold allows you to do is, you know, once you finally lose that fight, they're finally going to start moving the payload for the first time. So you get that extra chance, and you're going to see them swoop up onto the high ground, utilize that as a staging point for their next engage here.
And yeah, that is exactly what they're doing. They're kind of posing around this staircase, kind of teasing that high ground rotation, leaving Budget Shock to guess. And looks like they guessed correctly as they're just sticking to the low ground, sticking to where the cart is rolling through. And yeah, looks like they're going to engage with a nice imprecise. Here comes the Tire, the Shatter as well. Ooh. Looks like Hydra looking for value there, but the Tire does get one, gets rid of Blossom, and the res comes through for them as they get picked off as well. The Budget Shock just putting in work, kill after kill. And not a lot from Alpha Centauri's side as their both supports desperately trying to run out of there.
Not to be, you know, Mr. Hindsight 2020, but probably should have went high ground and used it as a staging platform for your next push. Not sure why the call was made there, because if you go high ground, you get the beautiful choice, the freedom of deciding when and where exactly you drop. But on the low ground, it's a little bit more even. Yes. On the defense here, they do have the bomb still. That's pretty much all they have right now. They need to build up this window though, as Finn currently has theirs, but most importantly that Flux is ready before the beat is.
Yeah, I mean that Flux definitely going to need to use soon, or at least soonish, and there it comes out as it catches the BAP. Great target focus there. The BAP has managed to put down the lamps, but it's too little too late as Hydra scores the double. Getting rid of the BAP, getting rid of Trixie Cole, despite Blossom coming in there with a nice pick on Fusion Finn. Yet again, Budget Shock finished the deal.
Yeah, very nicely done. Flux didn't get, you know, massive numbers, but that's not what it's really about. Sure, it makes, well, Fab is actually getting taken out. There's an assassin in the background right now, as there's a bit of a Hanzo duel happening between Hera and Luau. Oh, and it will be Hera.
Will be Hero with the hero play on the Hanzo. Beautiful opening pick there for Budget Shock. Not that they needed it, because they, you know, looking pretty good at the moment. Almost a Shatter, almost a Dragon, and definitely with the Infrasites coming into this next fight.
Yep, and Blossom here looking to get the Shatter off. Will it be a Creed Shatter, or will it hit the shield of Augie here? Blossom doesn't quite have the support as Hera's clearing house.
Ooh, a huge one there, and still pretty even picks back and forth. This could be Alpha Centauri's chance. They are down a couple of numbers. Only really the Baby Diva and the Lucio on point, and with the res and your Lucio falling, that's your one chance gone down the drain. I mean, Budget Shock have been doing such a great job of balancing it out these last couple of fights.
Yes, Budget Shock are looking to win this one in terms of how we score it here at a 5-1 Scrim Nights, and there they have it. They have won this point, but it's a Scrim, and we play all of the way. And
all the way.
Now the Widow picks are really going to be important in this point.
Oh, that is for sure. This is where it gets scary. I mean, this is normally where you see Widow switched to. And there it is, with an amazing pick there by Soyeon. Wow, putting Swift straight into the respawn. And yeah, Swift with a nice shot in chat, and it was a very nice shot indeed.
Yes, and there's all the headshots coming out from all these sniper characters, the Dragon getting the value against Hera. And yeah, Budget Shock just continue to push, like, against all adversity. They keep pushing this payload. It's incredible to watch.
I know, it's absolutely bulldozering their way through. I mean, 3 minutes on the clock. It's quite a lot of time, especially for this last point, especially with the cart where it is. That's a good couple of fights, definitely. And with the ultimate banks that they have, there's potential for them to take it forward. Although I think Alpha Centauri have a bit of an advantage there with the beats. If used correctly, that beat Oh, Fab does drop. Unfortunate early pick there. Or fortunate if you are an Alpha Centauri fan. Looks like the info sites are going to be used to try and capitalize on that early pick. But for now, I think they're just trying to set up, trying to get some distance, and trying to scare Budget Shock away.
Yes, the defense here have their window, and they can choose to use that in this next push here, as Augie is going to be stepping up to the plate. Swift opens up with a massive headshot.
Ooh, it's huge. Does get traded though, so 2 DPSs are down, one both sides. Pretty even picks as the window gets dropped for Budget Shock, putting down a little bit of extra damage, forcing Alpha Centauri to hide behind shield, hide behind the natural cover. Hydra manages to get a nice early pick onto that Widow, with Blossom falling soon after. That is going to be a pretty good deal for Budget Shock as they roll in there. The Flux comes out with Trixie Cold, turning it around. Beautiful double kill, and it looks like Alpha Centauri could potentially have this one in the bag.
Yeah, Trix there stepping up massively with a 4K, I think, in the end. One of the reasons why, you know, this player's on this team, been on this team for years now, I think. Came as a package deal with Fabius back in the old days. That's my old knowledge coming out there for the Alpha Centauri group. Swift, though, with this walls, is going to look to get something done, but it gets the pull from Blossom. Outstanding stuff from the tank player, who typically is not the tank player.
I know, really filling those shoes well with a huge pull, allowing a lot of damage so quickly to be dumped on top of Swift, completely denying the Infosite's value for that Widow. Fab and Swift fall again. Absolutely dominant gameplay by Alpha Centauri, really denying Budget Shock any sort of semblance of a regroup.
Yep, it's land of the snipers here, and those who shoot first usually are the ones that are shooting last also. Now, got walls ready here very soon for the side of Alpha Centauri. Gonna make it even harder for the attacking team to get anything done. As we reach that kind of final fight territory, looking for Bap's head, doesn't quite get it.
Ooh, it's flirting with the idea. We have 2 dragons on the door at the moment. We do see Hydra kind of peek their head around, looking to try and get a good dragon position. 60 seconds, or 30 seconds on the clock, I should say. Final fight territory as the dragon comes out. A beautiful pick by Lunoi. Getting rid of Trixie Cold. A dragon now of Alpha Centauri's kind. Also, doesn't get anyone, but does force all the Budget Shock nice and close, but it's playing into their favor as they seem to be getting a lot of picks. Forcing out the reds, forcing out the window. So Alpha Centauri really throwing everything they have at this fight, and it pays off big time with that Widow triple kill to clean up. Finally gets taken care of by Hydra, but I think that's a little too late.
Yes, definitely. And yep, Alpha Centauri hold in on the defense, but of course that is the win there to Budget Shock, who have made things nice and even here, and you know, starting to make Alpha Centauri sweat a little for sure as we move forward in this series.
Just a little bit. Yeah, now the scores are even, and I'm quite glad they are, because I always end up saying, the scores don't do justice to how well these teams have played. And I think this is the rare occasion in which they do justice. You know, both these teams exceptionally close. And I absolutely love to see it. You know, the DPS lineup from both sides have been at each other's throats so much. And we even got, you know, a couple of good Widow picks there at the end. So, yeah, all in all, the action just keeps on coming.
Yeah, great stuff there from both sides. And of course, it's the snipers that really stood up to the plate there and really showed what they're worth, as of course Hanamura has, you know, lots of sights, and you know, snipers do pretty well when there's lots of sightlines. And looky loo, we're going to Eichenwald. It's so cool, it's so flashy.
I love it. It's so cool, so flashy, and gotta be one of my favorite maps. I don't know if I'm biased there, because I speak a little bit of German, and it is like the German map, so yeah, you know, it might be a bit biased, but some great comps. I like the dynamics you can get, you know, especially with that last point being quite enclosed, and a lot of open spaces in the point before that, so I don't know, there's all to play for. And I don't know if they patched this, actually, you might be able to tell me. You know that strat that you used to be able to do with the Maywall Sim TP over the building on first point? Strats like that also just add so much joy to my life. And I don't know if they patched it, but
every time Couch Potato, I don't know why I've got a spoon, by the way, but every time Couch Potatoes was playing that strat, it always worked out terribly, and somehow it would work. So it is one of my favorite dumb strats that even if you don't do it right, somehow just is so shocking to the enemy defense that it works. Which is what I love to see. And with Eichenwald being picked, I imagine I could probably bet 100% Alpha Centauri going to play a brawl defense at least.
Yeah. I mean, they're known for being the brawl team, really, or known for doing a really good brawl. That being said, though, I did see Creed on the ball quite a bit, doing, you know, God's work. I gotta say, that ball is one to be scared of.
Yeah, Creed's been playing a lot of ball, you know, and a lot of people though would say that Blossom is actually doing a little bit better here today in the absence of Creed. Yeah, because of course, yeah, sure they can play brawl, but they don't have their hammer. Creed in here, they don't have their usual Lucio. Fabius in here, and Lanao is doing some surfing on the roofs.
Quite like that.
Just chilling.
It's like a Doomfist rollout, but on ball, I guess. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I do think no brawl. Potentially. Don't want to cast this curse, obviously, but looking at the lineup so far, it's very kind of dive, very mobile chaos comp heavy. You know, we have the Brig Zen on the side of Budget Shock. Definitely looking for some anti-dive behavior there, and I think that might come in clutch considering Blossom and Trixie Cold teasing this Monkey Rush. That Brig Fab gonna have a big job of defending the Zen, keeping Swift alive, while Hydra, Lunoe rotate round, look for some flanks.
Certainly, and you know that's what this all is about. It's kind of like a chaos comp, right? You know, it's all about creating those different angles and looking like you're playing kind of a comp game, not really communicating. And all of a sudden, everyone's on one person. Boom! It's like a pack of hounds with some raw meat. That's essentially how this composition plays. So we will see how that works out. And as I was saying, they have swapped onto a standard dive on the attack here.
Ooh, yes, love to see it. It is kind of a classic one there, but I do think it puts a lot of pressure onto Fab on the side of Budget Shock. Although they are going for a dive, so you do often hear offense can be the best defense, and that's all gonna come into fruition for the defense here. They're looking to try and attack first, try and attack fast, and yeah, really just get the element of surprise and get the better of Alpha Centauri. I think Swift might help with that from the backline on that Ashe, raining in a lot of damage.
2, 1.
Can we be budget Valiant 2018? That's funny. Yeah, we're gonna just have a whole list of budget Overwatch League teams at this rate.
Oh yeah, I like it.
We also have Spitfire as well.
Yeah, let's get the trend going. Catch a couple more. I'm all for that. And I think Alpha Centauri are all for making some space. On that Echo, like someone said in chat, Lao only really plays Echo and Tracer, but they play them really well. So you can't really blame them. And some very versatile DPS areas, very dive heavy and paying off pretty well as they get a nice chunk of damage down. With that Mercy Pocket, they're definitely looking deadly.
Yes, Loal on the Echo is something to be feared for sure as they push in here. It's scrappy, but Blossom is picking up those eliminations, finding a lot with just the melees they are in that kind of scrappy fight inside of that kind of, it's not really a tavern, it's kind of like an inn area, and that's going to secure them the point. Yeah,
it is a bit of an inn. Oh, there's a little sign here. Yeah, it's called Jag Dahuti.
Someone asked proxy what that means. Or...
Yeah. Someone tell us how you pronounce that one. But yeah, that's where the fight unfolded. And so far, it's going to be rotated very far away from there, as it looks like Alpha Centauri rotating towards the high ground. Looks like Tom's going to get the initial pick onto Hydra with the honor. Not often you see that trade happen.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be the nano here onto Blossom immediately, but gets booped by Augie. But Loal is tearing up the defense to pieces.
Oof. Yeah, that Echo player is just absolutely nuts. And, you know, it was looking pretty dicey for Alpha Centauri in the beginning there. That nano immediately getting booped away and kind of denied a lot of the value of that engage. But Lau always there for the aggressive Echo plays, always there for the Hail Mary picks, and that's exactly where they shone through, exactly why Alpha Centauri won that one, and can really cement this attack.
Certainly, Well, Alpha Centauri currently have control of this castle. Here's the push coming from the defense to try and take them out. Lulao is going to be a little bit of danger, but gets out. And there's the big pulse bomb onto Tom, setting it up, but the res immediately. Alpha Centauri are still in this one as they're fighting out with a primal rage.
Ooh, yeah, looks like the bomb is also going to be invested in that tight room just to try and get them away. Mines used onto the point by Budget Shock, and it does get value, just get a nice little pick as well as pushing them away. Looks like Alpha Centauri staying quite grouped up in a nice little cluster. Oh, I think my Overwatch is frozen. Very sorry about that, but there we go, we're back at it. And just as Oe gets a nice remake kill onto Trixie Cold and a boop onto the Mercy.
Ogie, oi, oi, oi. Very nicely done on the defense there by the Diva of Budget Shock. And that's going to have them just hold in there. Below, I'll get an exit pick while also being picked on their own exit. It's messy, it's scrappy, but it's working for the defense here.
Absolutely love it. And yeah, the defense can kind of cement that one down. 3 minutes on the clock. It's still a lot of time to play for if you're Alpha Centauri, and they do have some engage. Another nano on cooldown. They have another bomb as well for an engage, and there comes the nano. Does try to get booped away, but not to any effect as Blossom gets a nice pick onto Swift.
Yeah, they're staying in there. They're going to have that follow-up there onto that high ground. Then they can use that to stage forward. Pulse Bomb gets swung out, almost finds Soyeon, but just escapes. After that res there, Luna going to go deep with a pile drive, but gets antied there. Is going to be forced back as Alpha Centauri looking to continue to push in here. Blossom very close to his primal rage, but the defense are going to find Soyeon.
Ooh, a huge pick, forcing out the trance as well, getting juggled about all over the place. Does eventually fall into the pit. A beautiful juggle there by Blossom. High Noon also going to be invested by Swift. Doesn't quite catch that many people. The mines once again put onto point. A bomb by Alpha Centauri sent into the back. Doesn't connect, unfortunately. They're investing so much into this fight. But I think they are slowly getting the advantage, especially at the hands of Blossom. Getting a nice double kill, but falling to the mines shortly after. Looks like the attack definitely has the advantage. Gonna just clean up the remaining picks. They still have a ball to deal with, but I think they have this fight won.
Yeah, despite maybe kind of a little bit silly, just jumping into the mines without really looking where the mines were, getting eliminated, but the res is there. Alpha Centauri still in control of the point. Budget Shock have an opportunity here to come out. They're going to chuck the bomb through that little hidey hole. Going to get bubbled though. Not going to find anyone as they come out onto this one. Soyeon tearing up the field here.
A triple kill. The Nano Tracer let loose out of their cage and getting some mad value. Looks like the copy also going to be used onto the Diva as well. So Alpha Centauri definitely have what it takes. A boot though does come out from Budget Shock, so it's not over yet for them. Desperately trying to hold on to that point, but with the Echo copy onto the Diva, the mines are going to be used, but that bomb is immediately going to rinse those mines. So yeah, I think Alpha Centauri, they look like they had that one in the bag, but Budget Shock just had the quicker respawns, could get there just that little bit quicker.
Yeah, Budget Shock utilized that one quite well, using those different flanks. Budget Shock have constantly shown that in a fight where they shouldn't be winning, they win. So a lot of tournament level play here being shown, because it's all about the heart when you get to that level. Now though, as they come around, a very split attack. Blossom kind of goes in alone here.
Ooh, yeah, trying to get as much value as they can. Does immediately get picked off by Swift, and Hydra with the nade onto Tom. A nice double kill there from two different sides of the battlefield. Looks like Fab does fall, but I think Budget Shock have the numbers. Res does come through though, so now it is pretty even. But yet again, the fight is happening in so many different directions. But they're gonna need to touch. Alpha Centauri need to get to that cart as quickly as possible, and they know this. Looks like Blossom can just about touch. The High Noon is gonna be invested by Swift to try and deny that cart presence, but the bubble is there to keep them alive. Looks like the primal gonna be used as well for extra health. Hydra getting rid of Tom, getting rid of the heals. Blossom falls into the pit, and suddenly it's all unraveling for Alpha Centauri.
Oh boy, that is tough, but Fusion Fin, if that Transcendence is keeping them alive here on the defense. Alpha Centauri struggling to get anywhere. That's going to be the first bomb coming out by Augie. Can the wall build one of their own in time? That's not going to be the case, as Augie's bomb is absolutely massive, and there's a big exclamation mark at the end of this fight. Hello Trix somehow got rezzed during that, but not rezzed close enough to the point, as there was no touch.
Yeah, very, very well played there. And that's going to be a tough one to beat, especially on the attack. That second point, I don't know. I feel like that's going to be quite tough to match, that's for sure. They did so well at just kind of winning the fight out of nowhere. I got to say, there were times when I thought Alpha Centauri had that one clean, had that one down pat, but I don't know, Budget Shock just pull out miracles time and time again.
Yeah, and not to be a negative Nancy, but I think we have found the limits of Blossom's main tank abilities. Has done very well on ball, done pretty good on Ryan, but it's struggling with the monkey, and yeah, that's going to be a swap off onto the ball. Of course, you know, much more coordination required of the monkey to get it right, because it's so easy to just get chunked down in the current state of Overwatch. I say the current state. The state's been in for 2 years because we've not had an update. But you know, who am I to rant? Yeah.
It's very true. It's very true. It's kind of the classic state that it's been in for a while. But you know, there's still the occasional things that spice it up. Still the occasional fun strats and mad plays. But yeah, for now, my eyes are turned to the Hog, Oggy. Because speaking of the state of Overwatch, it's not often you see a Hog in the meta. Not often you see them really shine through, unless it's like a pulled pork, maybe. But even then, looks like that's not what Budget Shock are going for.
Yeah, Budget Shock currently going for a kind of something you'd see in your comp queues, the Sigma Roadhog, the classic tank queue of today. It does play into a very individualist style, very pick orientated as well.
Oh,
Zenyatta, standing.
You got me there. I thought you saw something. Well, that's not to say Zenyatta is not something to be surprised by. I do love a good Zenyatta, especially when they're emoting and stretching their legs.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the new support hero Kriko and the new map Portugal. I'm very excited. But for now, we are an Eichenwalde, I believe is the pronunciation. There was a German on Couch Tales who always made sure that we knew we were saying it right. Now as they push forward here, this kind of oddball comp. Funny I call it oddball, it doesn't have ball in it, but the ball of Blossom is behind them. Whoa. Coming in for a swing and a pile drive. Bye-bye, that's all that she wrote.
That's such a quick and clean engage there, immediately getting them out of the map, out of their hair. And yeah, the Noir close to follow. Both tanks gone, really. Alpha Centauri have this defense down before the fight even really began, with some beautiful engages and some beautiful target focus.
Yes, I'll describe that one as clean. That was a clean defense there. No rough edges about it. That was a huge pile drive. And I cast across it because the wall went down in the aftermath of it, but we'll get rezzed up.
Ah, yeah, still in the fight, still swinging some blows there, and yeah, the defense looking pretty clean. 2 minutes 50 on the clock, so still plenty of time for Budget Shock to shake things up. Looks like they're going to come out of the choke here with a bit more confidence than before. Fusion Fin approaching that Transcendence, although Tom not far behind. That's going to be the key player in denying so much damage that's going to come out from Alpha Centauri, especially from the damage boosted Ashe. We'll see how it goes, as they're still going to push in, only really with a Bob to contend with. That Bob from Alpha Centauri can get a lot of space and a lot of extra damage. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and there's a possible onto Lil from Luna onto the Eldens are all over the place. The Fusion Fin has been Luau there, stumbling over my entire sentence. I'm pretty sure what I was going to say was awesome though. Tom though is going to find Hera. That's going to be the defense holding in strong right now, but there's going to be a very quick re-attack here as the defense lost one of its players.
Oof. Yes, that is for sure. And now we have a bit more ultimates on the door, which is always very interesting to see. Those Transcendences can deny so much damage, and a lot of damage potential is on the board, especially with both teams having mines, especially with that flux coming from Trixie Gold. An early engage, though, from Budget Shock with Hydra down could be dicey.
Yeah, and Soyon is going to find a rock to the face, and this Transcendence is going to save them from the Bob, the Robert Flux combination, you could say. And yeah, holding in strong while finding Swift as well, and there's another big res. Kext on this Mercy has constantly gotten those reses despite the hazardous situations. That's exactly what you want to see from a main support.
Yeah, once again, Alpha Centauri, they must have Mr. Clean on their team somewhere, at least coaching them, because all of these fights have just been so clean. Absolutely love to see it. And yeah, they did expend quite a bit of ultimates in that one. So the ultimate economy definitely more towards Budget Shock. But is their heart really in the game? Are they still ready? Are they feeling the pressure a bit too much? That's the question on my mind. The Bull Tracer up on the high ground, ready to drop in from above. But with 4 ultimates on the door for Budget Shock, if used correctly, could be their golden ticket towards a bit more of Eichenwald.
Yes, and here comes with the Flux. The rock almost hitting them, narrowly misses. The mines coming out from Lunao. That's going to take tricks out of it. Defense are in shambles right now. Lunao may have found himself off of the map, but their efforts early in this fight continue to push forward into this fight win here as Budget Shock are securing the point and have finally found themselves onto stage 2 of Eichenwald.
Ooh, for sure. A little bit less time than Alpha Centauri had with only 2 minutes 40, but still very doable. That is for sure. And yeah, I really like the ultimate combo coming into that one. They had the Flux send up a bunch of members of Alpha Centauri and then immediately descended onto the mines. Perfectly placed by Lunao. Although we do see them switch away from the Bull onto the Zarya. And it looks like they're going for a bit more of a double bubble approach come this next one. And that's going to be good for some nice clean engages, for charging up Fusion Finn's Nano, and for keeping that high damage output on that Zarya.
Yeah, Spikle Bubbly would be happy to see Doobly here. Augie going to be jumping in, not with a bubble though, gets a booped away from Blossom, but that's probably helping Augie stay alive. Meanwhile, Tom was taken out, but Pulse Bomb for a res. The defense will take that trade anytime, but Luau is outstanding with that double Pulse Bomb. That's a swift end, pardon the pun, to the attack.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, it was looking pretty good with the engages immediately onto Augie there. Dropping dangerously low, getting rid of them. But then Lau just comes in so clutch with the double pulse bomb. Absolutely love to see it. And just continues the massive defensive advantage that they have. You know, still have so many resources, still have so much space. Here comes a dive to potentially try and get rid of this high ground presence.
Ooh. Yeah, very nice counter. The Flux immediately as Augie went in. Might not be flashy, but it gets the job done, and it means they're only going to utilize 1 ultimate here as Tom cleans up here on that Zenyatta, able to output so much damage with the space that this high ground gives them. And they've been able to hold on to a lot of their ultimates as they still have Robert, Transcendence, Valk, and coming up to Mines. It's really just this nano engage from the attacking team that's going to be coming out soon that has anything
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen that nano engage be denied so many times before as well with a perfectly placed coach gun. And there it is, the coach gun denying the top all before Tom gets a nice early pick onto the Zarya. And yeah, the jump also misses again. Life of a main tank's experience, and Augie is just accepting his fate there. With 30 seconds on the clock, Budget Shock are looking a little worse for wear.
Yeah, can we get an Augie check, please? Just check in on them because yeah, the entire engage was booped and prodded and stopped, and oh, that's sad to see. Final fight territory though, they only have this rally going for them here, and maybe this pulse can come up big from here, but there's so many ultimates in the defense.
Augie slept mid-air. Wow, once again with the double pulse as well. The triple tracer coming in clutch, and Alpha Centauri say no thank you. This is our fight to win, our game to take a score on the door for, and that is a team kill in overtime for Alpha Centauri to win Eichenwald. Or, as it says, Budget New York Excelsior, I guess. Guess renaming themselves.
Yeah, that's the stuff you want to see from the top dogs in Arena 51. That's just because ATO aren't here right now, but
yeah.
But yes, very nicely done from Alpha Centauri. Their attack suffered from really playing that kind of monkey, but on that defense they really showed us what they're all about. The ult rotation, their actual physical rotations were on point there, so very nicely done for Alpha Centauri, who are now 2-1 here.
Solid stuff. Yeah, they're looking pretty clean. Let's see, should we see how the predictions are going? I'm curious to see who you guys thought would take this one home, and it seems like an overwhelming majority of you went for Budget Shock. 77% to Budget Shock. Alpha Centauri with only 23%. 16 or 17k points on Budget Shock. I mean, how do you think that's gotten so far?
People voting against Alpha Centauri? What? Did you not see how well they performed in the GOATS tournament?
Exactly.
They got eliminated without winning a single.
Oh no. No. Don't mention
it. Alpha Centauri, despite the fact that they're down 2 of the core members, have been outstanding today. And Blossom has been my favorite to watch on on a pick that they don't usually have. They don't usually have that tank position on Alpha Centauri, but they've been really holding their own.
Oh yeah, they really have. They've been proving that there's a reason why they're at the top. There's a reason why they are where they are. And yeah, I think Budget Shock, they do have potential to take it from them. I mean, especially with 1 point on the door, they've shown that there's potential there. They've shown, and I think that might come into fruition. Don't want to jinx it, but I think it might come into fruition with Hydra on the Pharah. I know they're a pretty mean and keen Pharah player. So yeah, that's my bet, that Hydra's going to be a bit of a thorn in the side. But now on the Echo, has shown themselves to be one hell of a DPS player. I mean, they play Echo Tracer so well.
Yes. After one coaching session on Echo from Luau, I went from scrub to pub stomper. So Luau is a very good Echo, known for the Echo and the Tracer, but of course, much more than that. Got the Hanzo, got the other picks. A very flexible player, honestly. Doesn't give themselves enough credit, as I see in chat. But yeah, I do love seeing Pharahs. Hera on this Pharah is going to be supported by Fab. Of course, we saw them in the Battle of the Fabs. The other Fab not here today. Slacking. I would call that a point in Fab's favor that Fabius isn't here. So I think it's now 1-1 in the Fab realm.
You know what? I'll second that one as the judge, jury, and executioner of the Lucio 1v1. Not sure that's the right way to say it, but as that one, as the adjudicator, let's say it's neck and neck, and the title still is yet to be given out. But we are coming out the spawn doors with these compositions. Both of the teams gonna clash onto point. Both of the balls kind of bumping into each other as the teams collect themselves and the neutral fight begins.
Yeah, the bumper cars of the Hammonds here rolling into each other. Kind of like Conquerors as well, if you've ever Conquerors. Wow. Finding an aerial battle with Hera, but actually Hera's keeping their own. Does have the pocket though. That's probably why Fusion Fin finding the opposing Tracer. Very nicely done. Kexto is going to equalize, and that's what we're looking for. Outstanding rocket placement by Hera.
Oh, I mean, that was just how it's done. Not easy to do, and I think that was all thanks to Fab being there to keep them healed up. But yeah, I mean, in the hands of a good Mercy, Hydra will go far, that is for sure. So yeah, first point down for Budget Shock. Can they hold on to it for long? That's the question on everyone's minds.
Well, as we saw Elios go out, even if they get 100-0 here, it might not be a true indicator of how this map continues. Luau, though, has asked for the pocket, and now that's really tough for Hera. Echo is just more suited for that 1v1 in the sky, and now that there's a pocket, never mind.
Oh, they heard you talking and was like, no, Gio, gonna prove you wrong. Immediate direct to the face. But yeah, I do think the Echo has at least some advantage. Maybe Hydra's just a different beast in those skies. Yeah, has almost got that barrage as well, so even more damage. Looks like Oggy gonna invest the bomb. Does catch the Tracer on the side of Alpha Centauri. Alpha looking a little bit low. Picks left, right, and center. Such a scrappy fight. Fab falling off the map. Very unfortunate. No one was there to save him. And it looks like Alpha Centauri just desperately trying to get the cleanup picks.
Yes, I'm sending the point in the Fab verse for that one. Still holding in strong here. Lots of ultimates to stay alive. They've utilized the mines there to kind of create some space, and that's going to be kexed out of this one from a nice dive. Now that's the nano there onto Hira, who's now going to be giving Tom some issue, but they've went down to Luau's beam.
Oh, yes, got dangerously low and then allowed to finish him off with a beam. The double kill in chat, looking to get that Echo Supremacy back on the door, looking to make a name for themselves. Pretty cold with the missiles, getting rid of Twix. Wow, once again with the beam, just absolute menace of the skies. And I think Alpha Centauri are saying, nah, this is one we can take back to the 99-0 scenario that we've seen before.
Yeah, very good stuff here from both sides. Alpha Centauri finally getting that point swap and doing it with still ultimates in their bank. Crucially, this nano. Not sure who the nano target will be here. Maybe Luau? There's not a really clear one I can see as they are being pushed into here by Budget Shock. Hira in a lot of trouble.
Ooh, yeah, Luau gonna invest that copy nice and early onto that Diva, just to get a little bit of extra damage going in. Meanwhile, Blossom on the flank looking to cause a little bit of havoc as the point is under contention. Hira getting a nice pick onto Tom, denying a lot of healing. The mines by Alpha Centauri have to be used to deny a lot of rotations, a lot of entrances into that point. Looks like the bomb also going to be invested, doesn't get too much value by the side of Oggy. And yeah, I don't think this is really Budget Shock's fight to win.
Yeah, it's looking rough here for Budget Shock as they're on the back foot here, but they are building these ultimates. They do have this nano upcoming, and they've spotted an opportunity on this right flank as they push forward, and Hira's going to go for that dupe.
Oh, and there's the duplication going immediately to the Mercy, dropping them dangerously low. The nano going to be invested onto Luau as well. Remec comes in from above, picks left, right, and center. Luau, once again in the chat for all the right reasons, getting a nice double kill. And yeah, I think Alpha Centauri have the pick advantage just about, though, by the hair of an Alpha Centauri. So yeah, they still have this one down as it takes into 99%. This is really the last fight territory.
Yeah, and with 99 to 93%, it's either going to be a repeat of Ilios well, or Alpha Centauri are going to be able to hold in, and with that res onto Blossom, that's going to keep them up here as they continue to create the space. Hira looking to take out Trex, but gets taken out by the helix of Luau, who's on the flank.
Oh, yes, the legs coming in clutch there. The bomb by Budget Shock going to have to be used to get some space, and space it does get, but not before Blossom with a double kill. Huge play there, getting rid of Swift, and it's not going to be enough as Alpha Centauri secured that one.
Yeah, not going to be a repeat of Ilios. This time Alpha Centauri taking it nice and early, thank you very much. And that was a nice flank there by the soldier of Luau. I think it was a good choice to go on to it, although that does beg the question, was Hira out playing Luau on the Echo? What was the decision there?
Oh yeah, an interesting one to throw out there. I mean, we did see Luau get some double kills, but in the beginning, they definitely had something up their sleeve with that Farah play. But yeah, I mean, I guess the switch onto the legs was just enough to try and seal the deal for Alpha Centauri, and now that they have 1 point on the door for Nepal, it's very threatening for Budget Shock. Coming into this next one, obviously a lot more enclosed spaces, so you might not see a Farah or an Echo. That being said, oh, they just switch off it as I say it, thank God. So yeah, there's not much aerial presence for both of these teams, a lot more close quarter combats. But yeah, what do you think about these compositions coming out for both of these teams?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, no, now equal. Yeah, I was going to say a bit of a silliness of the Reinhardt, but now it's pretty much the exact same sides. And of course, you get that Sigma to allow the angle for Swift and Soyun and Tom and Fusion Fin. Get that Zenyatta and that Ashe with a nice shield there to enable them to hard peek a little bit. Meanwhile, the Tracer and the Ball will be in the background. That's what the Symmetras are going to be swapping to after they get this teleporter.
We see some chanting in chat, trying to threaten the enemy team, getting into the mentals of them. Do like this, you know, gameplay battle on all fronts, really. But let's see if it comes into effect Both of these teams are out of the spawn doors and already into contesting. Alpha Centauri already have a lot of ground taken. The ball of Luau does flank around. Doesn't quite get too many picks. Boops around Alpha Centauri though. And hard focus, that Ash, who drops very low and finally gets taken out by Swift. A beautiful crossfire created there by Budget Shock. And that could be enough for them to collapse down onto point.
Oh, but Trix Code looking to turn it around. Lunao has gone down. Blossom touching that point, keeping up, but nope, it's going to be over to the Budget Shock, who, yeah, did take down the Ash. It is a little bit more damage than the ball. And Blossom, though, Swift is absolutely deadly with it right now.
I mean, that Ash is definitely one to fear. The long-range damage coming out can just be exceptional. Don't have a Mercy to damage boost them, but they don't need it. They just need the Discord Orbs in the right places and a whole lot of skill. And coming into fruition with the point now capped on their side and a lot of space taken up by their team, trying to hold this tight choke. Doing a really good job of just constantly keeping the pressure right at Alpha Centauri's throats.
Yes, they are, and there's a big pulse bomb onto Hero. Luau stating their presence as they push in. Augie is going to get taken down as well by Blossom on the advance. Some respect in the chat from these teams to each other as pushing in. Alpha Centauri are looking to just control this point as they finally are going to switch it over, but there's some disruption on the point.
Ooh, yeah, a bit of contesting. They do get taken out before it's too late. Now the point has flipped over. Alpha Centauri looking to bite back at least a little bit. Ultimate-wise, it is looking pretty even with Budget Shock having a little bit of an advantage there. Both teams coming up on the Transcendences, though, which could mean anything. You know, you can get a lot of value, especially as the Flux comes out nice and early and waters out that Transcendence, but wasn't really needed as the Flux is immediately stunned out of there. Luau with a nice pick onto Hydra, securing the Tracer differential with one pick up for Alpha Centauri and the Flux. Can they carry that momentum forward?
Yeah, Swift is the one getting a lot of these early picks here, and actually it's going to be Fab finding the Luau there, getting that whip shot. Lunao going to go down. Luau and Lunao are so close in pronunciation, it's really difficult for my Scottish mind. So I'm going to find here, though, that's going to really put into question this attack here from the Budget Shock as they push forward here. They have taken Robert down, but without Fab, you know, it's getting worse and worse here on this attack.
Oh, slowly it's slipping out of the claws of the Budget Shock as they just get pushed back so far. Owen doing a good job absorbing a lot of that damage, but it looks like Alpha Centauri are not looking for a close engage. They want to get all the way back to point. They want to decide where the battle happens. Unfortunately, not going to decide whether Luau lives or dies. If they're going to be sent straight back to the spawn, the mines are going to be used quite aggressively by Budget Shock to try and get a lot more space.
Yes, and now it's all blue in the kill feed as they're going to be taking up that point back. Swift with the final onto Trix. A little bit of a pulse bomb hitting the shield of Augie, though. Well, I was going to wish they still had that one, even being forced to recall. Meanwhile, the point has not switched yet.
Yeah, I mean, is that a C9? Are we going to count that one as a C9? Maybe a half C9. Does concede a lot of point percentage over to Alpha Centauri. They only really need to win one fight decisively, and then it's really desperation for Budget Shock. Looking at Hydra taunting them a little bit through the window. I do like that, you know. Got to play that mental game as well, like we were saying at the beginning. And yeah, maybe that's the secret trick up Budget Shock's sleeves, as they're going to fall back a little bit. They're going to invest a Flux nice and early.
Yeah, the Flux going to find right into the Transcendence Dome. Meanwhile, Blossom getting the value of those mines. Soyeon going to find the head of Hera. Swift is still up in this one. Could throw out the bomb, but it's going to get taken down before they're able to. Now it's 96%. I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch, which means Alpha Centauri are going to win it in terms of how we score it here at a 5-1 Scrim Nights. But of course, we play all the maps. Meanwhile, would like to thank a few folks. Perks Overwatch for the follow, Blue Spruce Land for the follow, and Orcio _ give me my name back with the resubscribe. That's now 17 months from Orcio.
Oh, I love it. I don't know who stole his name, do you?
I'm not entirely sure. There was the Orcio versus Nate battle.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, which of course I've now just realized Nate is Soyeon. That
Ooh.
explains why they're so good on the hit scan. Nate very good with these sniper characters, and it's shown today.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely a force to be reckoned with. That makes a lot of sense now. The name change definitely fooled me too. But yeah, I mean, now
these folks in the wacky names,
Oh.
you know, it's like, oh, why Iota, you know?
Just name yourself after a food. Very easy.
Yes. Well, my Steam, as you now know, as we've played Dead by Daylight together, is spaghetti.
Oh, on brand. Am I stealing the name from you, or are you from me? I don't know. Who had it first? We'll have to
we
fight
both had
over
it before we met each other, so maybe we have to have the battle of the pastas, you know?
Battle of the Bastards. I'm telling you now, Gio, you would win that hands down. In any game we
Well, it
play.
depends what we do. It could be Dead by Daylight that we do, and
Oh,
then you win.
maybe. I don't know about that one.
The objective.
Oh, I love it. But we are going to get into the poll. As both of these teams going for a brawly playstyle. Ads is kind of classic for this one. Looks like Budget Shocker win that one by a landslide in terms of who gets the point first. I mean, the Sim TP, I think, came out really well there by Swift, and they can really lock it down with some turrets on the choke points and be the controllers of this point. It's a very advantageous position to be in.
Yeah, interesting. They had a very good wall there, but weren't able to follow up. I think too much damage coming out. Of course, see Symmetra staying alive is going to put it level 3. Blossom, though, is going to go down. Augie finding the better of it there, and that's going to really struggle for Alpha Centauri, who do not have their right in the brawl. That's going to be then pouring out of point like boiling water and going to burn AC bad there.
Yeah, I mean, dominant play there. I think all in the hands of that quick rotation to point. Beautiful wall there, walling off Blossom, securing that kill, and yeah, that's going to be brutal. That's such a lot of time lost for Alpha Centauri there, not only from not getting there quite as quickly as they might have liked, but also from those really late picks from Budget Shock. So yeah, already ticking up to 30, and I think that's only going to climb higher as it continues. The shatter used by Oeg, a power move, a threat. I'm speechless.
That's what we'll call it, and not call it a fat finger. We'll say that was a mental game.
Playing the mental.
Yes, all about the mental game there. Luau actually on the Farah is coming on for this very close flank. A little bit too close, going to get swatted by that massive fly swatter that Ryan has. 2 walls are up here. They've built a bit of a square here. Now it's the window so they can get some sight, and through it is going to be double damage. Augie going to find Trixie Cold's mech. It's not looking good for Alpha Centauri right now.
Oh no, the pressure is just kept high. I mean, Alpha Centauri have only really had 2 fights to their name, and it looks like this one they're going for a little bit of a regroup, going to try and engage 5v6 with the D.Va still flying back from spawn. Can they manage it? I don't really know, as Oeg is coming up on another shatter, potentially to use as well in the mental game. Don't think we're going to see 2 shatters in a row used quite like that, though.
Yeah, I didn't think of all the comps that would be brawled Alpha Centauri struggled with here. And Luau is just going to clean house here with a massive Blossom and a follow-up with a triple kill.
Whoa, that is how it's done. Wow, on these aerial heroes is a force to be reckoned with. So strong, in fact, that they jump-scared Nate. Very well played. But yeah, I mean, they've finally managed to get the better of Budget Shock, who, not gonna lie, did so well, already up to 99%, but oh my god, we've seen this scenario time and time again, where they just push it up from 99% and eventually take the win. So Alpha Centauri, yeah, they're still in a good position despite the lack of point percentage.
Yeah, it's like when the point gets to 90%, Alpha Centauri leave their office chairs and get into their gamer chairs. So when the chips are down and things are looking rough for them, that's when they're getting these dubs, and that's what you see from a lot of teams that have been there for a while. Nice TP rotation. They've split up a little, though, right into a shatter.
Ooh, a huge starter, the read on the Sim TP. Og, though, going in ham with a beautiful charge onto Tom. Trixie Cold coming in even more ham with a nice triple kill there on that D.Va. The peel is insane. A quad to finish things up. And that is Trixie Cold making Budget Shock's blood run cold.
I want Kex to write an essay about how to get resurrections like that and to just constantly stay alive, because they have done it throughout this entire series, and it boggles my mind every time how they're able to get away with it. I think just, you know, choosing their timing perfectly. Very nicely played from the Mercy player. Mercy players don't get a lot of highlight, but a Raid who gets walled off and gets taken out well.
Ooh, the barrage comes through, but completely denied there. No value at all, and Budget Shock just invest everything they had, and it played right into the hands of Budget Shock there as they get the point down in a, gotta say, a pretty dominant display.
Yeah, and I think they probably will be playing more, so that probably gives them the advantage, the momentum moving forward, despite the fact that they, you know, did lose that map. And if it's a 2-hour scrim, then unlikely to come back, and Alpha Centauri probably have this one. But, you know, we play until the players are said, okay, we're done playing.
I do have word from our analyst desk about the plays coming on, so I'm just going to invite them on here. How do you think they played there? How do you think they played? he says he doesn't want to know. He doesn't want anything to do with it. One look at the screen and he's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, so both cats and dogs. They're not fans of Overwatch, it would seem.
It seems so. It seems so. But no, it's a shame that the score is how it is, because I think Budget Shock played so well. So well. Oh my god, the analyst keeps jumping up.
It's closer than, you know, the score would make it seem. Of course, Eichenwald didn't see the light of third point at all, holding in there. But yeah, despite the catty attitude of our analyst, we will move forward. That was a bit of a low-hanging fruit pun, but you know what? Sometimes we take those.
We take those. Still W's, that is for sure. And I think you're gonna like the next map coming in here. It is going to be King's Row, which is kind of the Brawl center, really, for out of all the maps, the one where Brawl is played the most. So it will be good to see how that goes down, especially with Alpha Centauri being the Brawl team.
Yeah, it's now golden goal. If Budget Shock beat Alpha Centauri on King's Row, they win. I declare it.
They win. We decide.
Yeah.
I love it.
You know, it's not Alpha Centauri touching the scoreboard, is it?
We have control.
Yes, the Newcaster carry of 851 Fabius isn't here to edit the scoreboard. So, yeah, what can you do?
I love it.
But
well,
yes, King's Row, it's a classic.
Will that come into the predictions then? If Budget Shock get this one on the door, are we just going to completely rig it?
Oh,
because there are a lot of people
would
who
be happy. Well,
exactly.
The people who voted for Budget Shock would be, but I'm not sure. I think you know, gambling's a rough area right now on Twitch, so I think we just play it by the rules.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's play it safe. Yeah, and it looks like we're going to get into game very shortly. I would ask the classic, what kind of comp are you expecting? But I think we all know what's coming. Although, you know, you do sometimes see some Bastion TP, some people play Chaos comp here, some crazy people.
I think we will. I predict we will see Bastion TP. I think it'll be Alpha Centauri that play it. Both teams. But I think Alpha Centauri will come out here with a Bastion and a Sigma and a Symmetra on their attack. I'm feeling it. I can. It's in the air. It's in the air. I can sense it.
I mean, it's just the classic. If you were gonna play a Mimi for surprise strat, that's the one you go for. Really, it has it all. It has the wacky sim TP. It has the Bastion funny hero, and the element of surprise given the comps that you usually play.
Yeah, totally. And looks like maybe I was misjudging that feeling in the air. Oh, nice little disco here. Fab serenading the other fabulous team.
I love it.
Yeah, nice it looks like it will be a normal comp. I doubt we'll stick with the Junkrat. I will be shocked. But on the defense, playing with this Doomfist, you're going to see a Zarya, a Diva, or maybe even a Monkey to complement this. and it will be down to what Lunao said.
Ooh.
Tell Gio say hi again. Well, the chat's on, so I see you. Hello.
From me too. Oh, lots of highs. You have a little fan club going.
Oh, let's go.
Do you say anything back?
So wholesome. I say get the W.
Oh, it's a command, an imperative from Gio.
Yes, the winner of King's Row gets Gio's favor.
Oh, now that is something you gotta pay attention to.
Yeah, it's like I'm a princess at a joust. If you win this joust, you get my favor.
Oh yeah, how's Oig doing?
Oig's in the closet.
Oh no.
He gets fed, you know. I mean, it's dangerous if I let Oig out, you know, it takes too much control.
Oh.
I mean, you know, I could be Oig right now and you wouldn't know.
Like a Jekyll and Hyde situation.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not Oig. Of course I'm not Oig.
Well, that's exactly what Oig would say though if
No, Oig wouldn't say that.
Oh,
Oig wouldn't say that.
Is there some kind of geo test we could take? Oh no.
Is the geo test? I don't know. Will they play Rhine mediocrely? Well, let's find out. Or well, because it was Oig that actually beat Creed, of course. That is the lore. It was not Geo, it was Oig that beat Creed in that Rhine 1v1.
851 lore. I love it. Heard it here first.
Yes.
Oh, amazing. But yeah, no, looks like we are going to get out of this doors with a little bit of a slower brawl from the side of the defense. So that's a little bit of a switch up. I'll take it. As Alpha Centauri going to rotate around Statue, or potentially look to go in through Hotel. The Maywall used early, and here they are going to converse onto point.
Yes, and there it is from Trickskull. Going to find Hera, maybe overstepped a little bit. That's going to give the blood in the water vibe to the Sharks that are now Alpha Centauri, as they're just starting to tear through the defense completely here. And yeah, that's all she wrote there for Budget Shock. It was swift. Alpha Centauri, they certainly don't want to be losing King's Row.
No, that's for sure. And they have made that stance very, very clear. Got to be one of the quickest King's Row fights I think I've seen in a while. And it looks like they're not going to push too far up. They're going to stick to the points. Don't think anyone can touch in time, but it does give the defense that archway hold, which can be so brutal. The Maywall also doesn't manage to section off the Ryan, so that's a crucial resource down for Alpha Centauri.
Yes, without that immortality field, you are in danger. Speaking of in danger, the May Luau was a little bit in danger, but some mistimings there against it. But punching right into a double damage window.
Oof. Yeah, that is brutal. Absolutely rinsed there. Oggy Misk is going in deep. Gets a little trade. Maybe that's Oig. Oh, who knows?
Oig is everywhere.
He's everywhere. Omniscient. I love it. But yeah, Alpha Centauri cleaning house yet again. I mean, this is kind of their map to win. Their egos are on the line here, Gio.
Certainly they are, and you know, egos will be shattered if King's Row goes not the way of Alpha Centauri, I think. Of course, they will have won this one out. High Noon comes out and sneaking right past the barrier. Can Swift steal this one here?
Ooh, who knows? They've held out for a long time, but a beautiful block from the side of Budget Shock is going to be enough for them to keep the fight going, but not for long. As wow, Tom, Nate, and Next just get so much value, so many picks in the fray. And Alpha Centauri just fight after fight seem to be winning.
Yeah, crazy stuff here on the streets of King's Row. The payload has barely stopped, only a little bit after a second. It's gonna be a healthy 5 minute and 30 time bank here.
Oh, that's one hell of a time bank to deal with, so you must be feeling pretty safe and sound. The shatter comes down from Budget Shock, but to no avail. A beautiful block there by Blottom. And yeah, Budget Shock doing a lot of aggressive plays here, and I love to see it. A huge charge with the lamp to keep them alive just as they hit the wall. And they have so much space, so much aggression, and Oggy gonna touch the spawn door off the back of that amazing push. Budget Shock not willing to give up without a fight, it seems.
Show me a Rhine worthy of King's Row, and that's going to be Augie right now. Outstanding plays, very aggressive defense, exactly what you want to see. Now Hero positioned here as well as the Doomfist, looking to get a cheeky elimination onto Kegs. Very nice. The beat comes in as well as they push forward.
Oh, that was huge. I mean, great play there by Hera, dodging the high noon as well. Just goes to show how mechanically gifted they are. The window going to come out from Budget Shock, raining down so much damage. Trixie Cold with the bomb in the back, just to try and fight for some space, but it's not going to be enough. Blossom drops, and that is the key pick that made Alpha Centauri kind of want to get out of there as quickly as possible.
Certainly, indeed. Alpha Centauri, they do have this Blizzard though, and Luno is going to look to eat it up with this Demon Matrix, but can well sneak it past Hero with a big Doomfist onto Tom there. And now Trix going to find Swift. It's a little bit even right now, but Blossom's going to Goomba Stomp Augie.
The disrespect. So the Goomba Stomp into the main wall as well, so you know he was only going for one and one person only. Securing that pick and securing the fight, it seems, as Alpha Centauri can finally push this card, approaching that final fight, or final point I should say. With 3 minutes 20, they definitely have a fair few fights in them, so they can sit rather comfortably.
Yes, very much so. Ainun coming out from Swift, looking to create some space here for the defense. Going to take down the shield, and that's going to allow Blossom to get taken out there. Although Albedo being very aggressive, and the high noon from Soyo, and it's turning around for Alpha Centauri here. They're looking very nice here, swinging this point round that secondary and final corner of third point.
Yeah, I think Budget Shock are going to have to stretch that budget a little bit further as it comes into the last point. The cart's so close to touching. Bomb by Alpha Centauri sent into the back. Doesn't connect with anyone because of the aggression from Budget Shock, but it's to no avail as the Ryan drops. Luan investing that bomb. A triple kill to seal the deal. And I think that's going to be a clutch fight win by Budget Shock.
Oh my lord, that was a huge bomba from Lunau there. And now 2 minutes 20, they've held in for already 3 minutes. Great defense already, but can they keep this up? Can they keep up this pace and hold Alpha Centauri at the gates of this King's Row win here? Blossom trying to deal with this flanking Doomfist. Hero in some trouble.
Ooh, Swift with a nice early pick. A Swift deny onto Tom. No healed. Swift with another kill. The double kill that just keeps racking up. And that is going to be Alpha Centauri's attack thwarted at the last hurdle. And their time bank suddenly looks a lot less than it was before. I think Budget Shock are really defending the gates of hell here. Really defending that title away from Alpha Centauri.
Yes, very great stuff here. Swift really stepping up to the mark. Everyone is on this defense, really. Alpha Centauri pushing in. They have this Shatter, probably looking to hack that Reinhardt with Luau. And Hainu is going to take Hero down. That's a nice opener as they swing forward, still with the Shatter ready. Big stun, though.
Oh, a huge block. Great play there by Blossom. Alpha Centauri want this. They're hungry and they're ready. They converge onto the Diva, but not before the Diva gets rid of Blossom. A huge pick. Both Ryans down. The boot, though, from Connect comes out. A double kill. Could be what Alpha Centauri needs. 60 seconds remaining. This is the fight that they need to win. They got to get rid of the Lucio, but the quick spawns are in there for Budget Shock. So Budget Shock in a pretty good position. They can get at least one recontest, and they're going to need it as the time bank is looking ever so slim.
Yeah, but look at that. Sneaky Luau's got this EMP, and it comes up big time, finding, actually only one member there. But it's enough. Takes down Augie with that Goomba Stomp and a massive bomb from Trix.
By the skin of their teeth, they managed that one. Finally got back into the gaming chairs and that final push, that final fight, just when they needed it most. They sipped their game of fuel, leaned forward a little bit, and that is all it took, with a beautiful bomb from Trixie Cold sealing the deal. And yeah, pretty solid attack, but now it's pretty doable for Budget Shock, because they had a lot of time through the streets phase, through that first point, but that last point they bled so much of it. So definitely still on the table for Budget Shock to take this home.
Massive credit to Budget Shock there. That's 5-minute hold there on third point. So yes, well, in the end, Alpha Centauri able to get it, but you cannot snub the fact that that was a 5-minute hold on third. Well, to even have 5 minutes is a credit to Alpha Centauri as well, who have been doing very good stuff. There's a Genji on the field. I doubt we'll see this. This is a bit of just a play around pick. This is going to be swapped to a Cassidy.
And just as you say that, the predictions coming in hard and fast. Nice one.
I know their tricks. I know what they do.
Called them
It's
out
been
on
the
it.
same for long enough. I know exactly what you're going to play.
Really, I think you're the puppet, and sorry, you're the puppet master. These guys are the puppets.
I'm Oig. I've always been Oig.
Oh no! Oh, he's coming out at large, much like Budget Shock coming out of spawn, but not for long. Trixie Cold immediately silencing Swift. Here up, falling, no DPS for them here. A Hail Mary charge by Oggy gets silenced, and I mean a very quick fight win from Alpha.
Yeah, Trix cold-blooded right there. Very nicely played in this first fight. Sending them back to the spawn. Blossom a little bit ahead of Augie in terms of that shatter. And, you know, it's still about building those ultimates and looking for an advantage. Very aggressive push here, though.
Ooh, yeah, the heat is rising. Budget Shock gonna look in to push straight into point Hera. Getting that hero charge onto Luau. A beautiful opening pick there for Budget Shock. They have a lot of ground covered as well. A double kill coming in clutch. That Doom Fist really putting that damage to work, putting that mobility to work. Oh, gonna get the pick onto Trixie Cold, and that is gonna seal the deal for Budget Shock. Gonna take this one home. Point is all theirs for the taking, and the momentum is just flowing in their favor. The Diva gets remeked, and I think they're gonna keep this aggression going.
Very much so. Swift getting that pick onto Tom's. Very nice timing. It's pretty much going to secure them the rest of second if they're aggressive enough with it. Augie still has their shatter compared to Blossom, who does not. Wow, switching onto that. Sombra again, maybe kind of a counter to this Doomfist, really, I imagine, is what this Sombra is all about.
Yeah, but I mean, the Sombra at the moment is kind of quite far in the back. You know, just waiting for an engage, waiting for the crucial hack, and that crucial hack is going to come in onto the Ryan, immediately ducks behind, both windows drop, Blossom falls at the hands of Luau. Absolutely amazing. The Doomfist ultimate comes down, and once again, Budget Shock take the lead, despite, or I think thanks to the beautiful opening hack onto Oggy.
Yeah, it's Budget Shock looking to win the favor of Geo here. Very good time so far. 420 on the board and blaze it. Now look at them. They're so far forward here in this defense that they might just catch Alpha Centauri off guard.
I mean, almost 5 minutes again. 4 minutes on the clock. The high noon gonna be used nice and early. There goes it popping off. Trixie Cold as well to follow up. 2 ults, 2 kills. That's all you really need for Alpha Centauri. Oggy charging into the back. They're going for some Hail Mary pins, and Alpha Centauri managed to defend that one off.
There's that Nate differential coming into play there. Very nice high noon. Maybe a little bit aided by the uppercut of the Doomfist. Not entirely sure about that one though, so I'm not going to make that claim. Luau with EMP ready. This is a very strong ultimate, of course. It can disable the entirety of the Brawl team because the Brawl team needs to stick together. You see them actually splitting, probably preparing for this EMP.
Yeah, I mean, almost gets caught out there by the Doomfist. EMP, all to play for, could potentially do an EMP shatter play here, and here it comes. Catches 5 members of them there, and that's all they need immediately. Rinsing up the team of Budget Shock, sending them straight back to spawn and whittling down that time bank.
Yeah, Alpha Centauri, very nicely done. All from the back of the EMP as well. Because that EMP, if it hits enough people, you do not need to combo it with any other ults. It's that strong of an ultimate. Of course, it's going to be a little bit different in 10 days, but that's 10 days time. You know, let's worry about that now. Blossom with their shatter, so does Augie though. Fab with a beat, so does Kex. A lot of ultimates here on both sides.
Ooh.
Oh!
the bomb sent straight overhead, wearing down Blossom's shield. It would be a great opportunity for a shatter by Oggy, but unfortunately he's 6 feet under in the spawn. So a bit of a missed opportunity there as Alpha Centauri get these cleanup picks, and yeah, very swift fight win. They just seem on it with this brawl comp, so much more on it than the previous maps.
Yeah, I think they feel the vibe, you know. They're really feeling themselves right now, this kind of new setup for Alpha Centauri with Blossom on this main tank and Drix Cold coming up to a bomb. That's a nice shatter, finds only one though. The follow-up not quite there. The shatter on the other end, kind of a little bit better, but still nothing found with it.
Ooh, both beats are on the field at the moment. Both teams buffed up. Bomb by Trixical sent straight into the fray. Catches a double. Both DPS down. A beautiful initiation. Alpha Centauri gonna just get those cleanups, and that's all they need. They have to take care of this Bat Ryan, though. With a lot of sustain and the Lucio there as well to help out. It could be a bit of a thorn in the side, but they do manage to get the better of Fusion Fin and of Oggy. And yeah, I mean, they just keep on winning these team fights.
Yeah, doesn't matter if you have Alpha Centauri on the back foot, because they always have a tricks up their sleeve.
Yes.
Now on the not final attack, they've still maybe got another one after this one if they're quick enough, but Shatter's ready. Swift close this High Noon, and this High Noon has got a lot of value so far in its space creation, but really this EMP from Luau is what we really need to be watching out for.
Oh, it's going to come, but the Doomfist immediately silences that EMP. The Shatter comes through, doesn't connect really with too many people. The lamp has to be used nice and early there by Fusion Fin. Finn looking to fuse a nice team fight win, but the EMP comes out clutch, catches one, which probably could be a little bit less value than they were hoping for. Oggy does fall though, so that's a key cornerstone of your comp. Down in spawn. Hydra hiding does finally get caught out. Can they make it back? Not quite with the stun from Nate coming in clutch. And now 20 seconds is approaching last fight territory.
Yeah, Alpha Centauri are holding this one in very well here and very strong. They don't have the CMP on the final fight, but there's not too much for the attacking team. Going to open up a window. That's going to really spoil the efforts here of the attacking team, who are now do or die. The Shadow comes in, and they're falling apart here at the final hour.
Oh, the final stand. The final fight, final opportunity. And Alpha Centauri denied any semblance of hope. Just chasing down the Lucio. High Noon used for good measure, and that is King's Row well and truly cemented into the hands of the Brawl Kings that are Alpha Centauri.
Yes. And of course, because Scrim's a little scuffed, it did say the budget one, but of course that's not the case. And yeah, you know, on paper, this is the outcome you expected. Alpha Centauri, they're the current top dogs of A51 today. They've proven that. They've proven that even with two of their core members gone and one of their DPS playing main tank, which is a very communicative role, you know, they've shown us today Alpha Centauri are nothing to be snubbed at. And, you know, when we're talking about moving forward into the farewell tournament and what that means for that, Alpha Centauri looking very strong, and of course, into even the future of Overwatch 2. And that's where there's going to be a whole lot of content in game and around the community. So, you know, Alpha Centauri are looking very good, but very nicely done from the opposing side of Budget Shock. The 4-1 doesn't do it justice. This was close. There was a lot of good plays from the side of Budget Shock against Alpha Centauri. So, honestly, an entertaining one for sure.
Yes, that is for sure. Lots of good plays all around, I have to say. And yeah, I mean, we'll definitely see more of these teams, if not in the farewell tournament, which I think both of them are attending. Also in Overwatch 2. So yeah, there's plenty more coming out from them as well. I'm gonna ask for some cheeky interviews, because we always like hearing how the players felt it went, how you know, how getting their side of things, how they thought the game's panned out. I think a couple of people are willing to jump in, so we'll let you know when they come in. But
yeah, of course, AC's most talkative members of Fabius and Creed not here to talk our ears off about it. So we will see who else comes in. And, you know, that's a nice one. You know, interviews are quite nice. You know, you get to know the players, you know. Yeah, it's, you know, they're the stars, right? Ain't us casters. We just talk, you know. That's all we do. The players are the ones actually doing the work that you're here to see. True. So, of course, that's what we want to hear from the most.
Yeah, exactly, and you never know. They usually come in with some hot bangers, some hot takes on stuff. I really do like it when I've had this a couple of times when a team just played so cleanly, so perfectly. You get them in the interview and you're like, "Teach me your secrets. Tell me how you did that." And they're just like, "Comms are absolute chaos. There's no way that was intentional coordination. We just gel well, I guess." And it's like, no. So you do get some of those teams. I like the different like styles of teams that you get, and the interviews really give a good insight into that.
Yeah, sometimes you get the structured teams, and sometimes you get baiters who don't have the structure but have the gameplay. Like, they always say that their comms, they don't really have comms, and you watch their fights back and you're like, how do you do this?
Exactly. But we do have someone in the interview room waiting. It is going to be Luau and Proper Wannabe. Don't know who Proper Wannabe is in game. Proper Wannabe, welcome.
I'm Hira.
Oh, Hira. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Lovely. Well, how did you guys find that scrim?
It was fun, I guess.
Yeah, I found it very fun as well.
I think both of you guys played super well. I know, Hira, you were in the chat a lot when on that Doomfist, which seems to be a bit of a comfort pick.
No.
No?
The second time I ever play him, yeah.
Really? Well, you played it off good enough to fool me.
Well, yeah, despite that, yeah, the plays weren't too bad then. But there was a lot of back and forth on the DPS lineup here. What would you say you guys had the most issue with as DPS?
Should I
I don't know,
start? Or...
I was just hard focusing Sam.
Okay, dude. Okay.
Gotta love
Yeah.
the rivalry.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Here and I are like both like trace veins, so we like to like ego each other, you know.
Of course, yeah.
It's as much about that mental game, about that ego diffing, than it is about anything else,
Oh,
Yeah. I'd say from IC perspective, I think the worst we had was honestly the double shield, because IC are like atrocious at double shield, but you just can't play it at all. And being forced into that was like very, very bad for us. But outside of that, I think we were fine with whatever they played. The Sombra was like, yeah, like we actually like never scrimmed Sombra on King's Row before, but I realized that I wasn't gonna get much done on May, so I just went Sombra and constantly annoyed Hero. So
I hate you for that.
sorry.
Absolutely love it.
Talking about DPS players, Blossom was actually on the main tank. What was that like then?
Actually, so we've done it before. This was our second time with Blossom on main tank.
Okay.
So Blossom is like very, very weird, right? Because he's technically IC's hitscan DPS, but he's better than hitscan at Ana, Mercy, Bull, and Genji. So even though he's hitscan, he's like sort of like hitscan secondarily, you know?
Okay.
So it's actually like quite good at Bull and stuff. So it's not too strange, but Blossom's definitely a lot quieter than Creed is, so it's a little bit difficult in that sense, but it's not like too hard getting used to it.
Yeah, I don't think that surprises me at all. Creed normally comes in for the post-match interviews and definitely has some words to share, that's for sure. But I mean, props to Blossom. Sounds like a very flexible player to have on a team.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Lovely
we
stuff.
actually kind of joke as well, because like in the IC server, me and Blossom both have the just DPS tag, because we can both play hit scan and flex DPS. So we just joke with each other that we're both like not even specialized, we just both can play DPS in general, you know?
That's the way it should be. Absolutely love it.
Nice.
Were there any moments that you felt were particularly difficult? Any moments where you felt your grip over that win slip away?
Every time Sam was on Echo.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Dominant Echo player.
For us, it was definitely Havana, yeah. Because again, same reason before, that we aren't good at double sniper comps. So, like, thing is, again, Nate is very good at Widow, and I'm decent at Hanzo, but we just don't work together well as a team on that comp, so it just doesn't work for us. But yeah, outside of Havana, at the start of King's Row, we felt it slipped away from us a little bit, but the rest was fairly chill. At least this is the way I think, anyway.
Damn.
Lovely stuff. Well,
Yeah, so for Alpha Centauri, as the chips have fallen, you guys are now the top dogs of A51. How does that feel, and how much does that feed into Creed's ego?
Uh, Right, so just to clarify, Creed is the only person who even cares about that. Um, literally, like, everybody on the team does not care at all about any of that. Obviously, it's nice to be, like, the top team, but at the same time, I know myself that there's better teams out there, they're just disbanded, right, for Overwatch 2. So I kind of feel difficult saying that we're the best team when you've got Chodo Yoi, you've got Allergic to Objective, you've got baseball, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for me to say that we're the best when there's definitely teams out there that can challenge us quite easily. So
Yeah. Very true. I mean, at the end of Overwatch 1's tenure, we're definitely in the dark right before the dawn. So lots of teams are kind of taking a break until Overwatch 2 or disbanding and then rebanding. So lots of chaos right now for a lot of teams. How are you guys feeling moving forward into Overwatch 2? For both of you.
Right. Oh, we're looking forward to it, actually. Again, it's kind of weird because, as said before, Blossom is like obviously very, very good at Genji. You've seen him. He used to be called Razor.
Oh yeah.
IC is known for Genji, and that's because he's so cracked at Genji. And if Genji's meta in Overwatch 2, which it kind of looks to be, then I'm gonna have to learn hit scan DPS again, even though I'm the flex DPS, because Blossom's Genji is way better than my Genji is. So I'm gonna have to be doing hit scan for a little bit in Overwatch 2. But outside of that, we're looking forward to it. It's a new game, it's very exciting. No more 20-minute queues as DPS, which is very, very nice.
So good. How are you feeling about the transition proper wannabe?
I mean, it's gonna feel good to get a new start on the game, like just 5v5. I personally like that a lot more than 6v6. And then all these changes, I like. It's more like you need to actually be good at the game to get some value, which will change a lot in the game. Yeah, it's it just feels kind of clean playing the game.
Oh, looking forward to it. The 10-day countdown is ticking down slowly. I'm ready. It's about time it happened. But before it does happen, we are gonna experience the farewell tournament. How are you guys feeling for that one?
We're looking forward to it a lot. So Fab, as you may know, Fab isn't here until tomorrow, I think. So we haven't had much time to scrim with Fab leading up to this tournament. But at the same time, we are looking forward to it. It's a tournament, it's the last tournament we're going to get for Overwatch 1. So yeah, it's nice to have like one last thing before Overwatch 2 comes out.
That is for sure. A farewell, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so this is why I called it, Well, when I came up with it, I was like train journey back from Edinburgh after meeting up with some combat wombats for the first time. And I was like, oh, that would be nice if we did like one final hurrah. And, that's what we want it to be, like one last, come together as a community for Overwatch and celebrate the game we've been playing for 6 years. Is about to change and evolve into Overwatch 2 and 5v5 and battle passes and all such, and finally go to the future of gaming rather than the past. And it'll be nice. And of course, it's a charity event as well. Very soon we'll be releasing the kind of charity goals, what things will happen at certain points along that line of charity donations. So it's going to be exciting to reveal as well. Yeah, very excited. Of course, Fabius is, of course, on the tournament team as well, has been very helpful in putting it all together.
I have a question for both of you, actually.
Oh?
If you could pick an MVP for both teams, not just AC, who would it be and why?
Oh,
It's a
very
think
nice.
of that one.
Yeah, we've not done that in a while. I used to do that a lot, and I've not done it in a while. For AC, I talked about them a lot, and the flexibility, I'm going to have to go for Blossom. Really surprised me on the main tank position, and really did well, especially on that ball, as we talked about. So yeah, for AC, I'm definitely going to be going for Blossom. And for Budget Shock, it's a little closer, but you know, I gotta go with my boy Swift. You know,
Yeah.
we were DPS duo together, and to see them, you know, killing it at this level as well, it's awesome to see. So I have to go for Swift.
Some solid answers there. I love it. I love it. I want to say for AC, who was your Mercy player? Because they were doing such a good job at avoiding so much damage.
This was I don't know if you guys ever casted the old Budget Shock from like a few months ago. They had a main support player called Kext, and they were the Mercy player for today,
yes.
and Lucio, of course.
Of course, yeah, because we saw them on the Lucio get a lot of double boots, but I'm more thinking about all the times they got those sneaky reses in and then just flew away. It's incredible. Boggles my mind that you can bob and weave through all of that damage and still get off a good res. So, yeah, I mean, props to them. And I think on the side of Budget Shock, I might have to go for Oggy because, I don't know, I just feel like he stepped up to the mark a bit. I saw a little bit of him yesterday in their scrims. So I was kind of he was already a player in the front of my mind. And I don't know, I think he just did a nice and consistent job. So I'm going to go with them.
Yeah.
Some solid stuff.
It's a tough call, but I completely agree with your choices as well.
I honestly, if I could, I'd pick everyone. I'm so indecisive. Oh, it's crazy. But yeah, no, I think everyone played really well. There's some really friendly matches. I gotta love it. Are there any shout outs you guys want to give before we wrap things up?
I'll let Hero go first for this one, because I have been spoken too much, I think.
I have no shout outs.
You can shout out anyone you want.
Right, well, for me then, I guess. Obviously, first one goes to Blossom. Blossom, you know, they've always been in silent DPS anyway. Like, they dominate on not only hitscan, but also Genji, obviously. When I first joined AC, their Tracer was not very good, but they're still very, very good. They're always improving, they're always flexible, and they're always very, very chill as well. So I'd say definitely Blossom for number one. And number two would be... Can I shout out people that aren't on AC?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, go for it.
I'd say Nate, actually. He was playing his scan for us today. He was so young, that's Nate. And that's the reason why, is because I duo with Nate all the time in comp, but he hasn't been scrimming for like a year, pretty much. And he just comes back, plays hit scan, and just pretty much dominates, right? So for somebody to just not scrim for ages and then come back in and dominate, that's like, you know, really, really good for me to hear. So I'd say Nate as well.
Some solid shout outs there. And I wish I could also have that ability to not scrim for ages and then come back just as good, if not better than before, because that's definitely not the case for me right now. Any shout outs you thought of, or do you want to just shout everyone out, your entire team?
I guess I kind of have to give it to Fusion Finn, my precious flex support, for keeping me alive through all of my feeding. And then Ogympus and his aggressive plays. I just love it.
Yeah, some solid picks there. Some solid picks. Well, thanks for coming for the interview. It's always nice to hear your hot takes. I wish you guys well in farewell, in Overwatch 2, and for whatever the future holds.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, have a nice day as well, guys.
You too.
And also to chat as well, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. Shout out to chat.
Shout out to chat.
Absolutely love it. All right, awesome stuff.
Right.
Gio, do you want to do a cheeky sign off? You have your classic line.
Of course, yes, the classic. Yes. I'll do a brief motivational one for free as well. But yeah, so farewell is in exactly a week now. 1 week until day one of farewell, and it's a lot of things that rolled into one. It's A51's biggest tournament that we've done ourselves. In terms of signups, it's the most teams we've had in one singular A51 tournament.
Yep.
It's already breaking records at A51, and we just want to give you guys, you know, even if you're not playing it, but like something visual to watch, a place to come together to celebrate it. And, you know, you heard the news, October 2nd is what they said, the last day that the Overwatch server's going to be on. The time's fine. Farewell's going to be fine. Farewell's going on without a hitch, but that means we get to say something awesome. literally the last day of Overwatch is the last day of the farewell tournament. So we are cutting it close, and we're saying goodbye to this game that we've been playing for a while. And we're doing so by celebrating the teams, by celebrating the people, the casters, the producers, the tournament organizers, everyone that's kept this community alive during this time where we haven't had updates. We have not had game updates, and it's been very quiet, it's been very tough. But it's this community, it's the friends we've made along the way. This is what keeps us going. This is what keeps us here. And that's what Farewell's all about. It's all about you guys and giving back to the community as well. As, of course, you know, it's in support of Project Hope. What a wonderfully named charity as well. And, you know, they're supporting the aid of the Ukraine crisis, which is still going on. We want to do more than just have our logo be in the colors of Ukraine. We want to actually have a physical give back, and that's why we chose that charity as well. And like I say, the charity milestones will be out soon. Some of them are pretty fun.
They are good.
So yeah, hopefully that'll be, you know, good content moving forward. But you know, it's exciting time to be in Overwatch. You know, Overwatch 2 is right around the corner. Farewell right around the corner. A lot of good stuff. But yeah, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for the teams for allowing us to scrim this wonderful Rivals Night. Thank you, Spag, for both producing and casting and observing at the same time. Not an easy job for anyone, so I appreciate you.
Wasn't
big
without
time.
a hitch.
It's fine. It's 851. We're a little scuffed. And yes, thank you to those who followed and were around in the chat. My name's Winji. I'll be casting for you today. Don't forget to laugh loud and love yourself. Good night, folks.